National Hot Dog Day, National Sunglasses Day, National Witch Hazel Day. Why is that a thing? Where did this whole thing come from? Who picks these days? Explain it to me.
Take it easy. I've got all the answers. Welcome to By the Way Today Is. Kate, what are you doing over there?
I'm flexing my tongue. I gotta keep it nimble.
Flexing your tongue to keep it nimble.
Uh-huh.
Those sounds are probably not things people want to hear.
Well, that's the price they have to pay to hear me flexing my tongue to keep it nimble. And you know why, because you told me about it a couple days ago.
I did. I told you to prepare for International Tongue Twister Day, which is today, November 13th. So not even national. This is international.
International. Can you see now why I'm flexing my tongue?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Smart move. I did not do it.
Yeah.
So if anyone's celebrating today, flex your tongue, get it loose, because you're going to need it to say some of the tongue twisters. So I'll ask you, did you have a favorite tongue twister to say when you were a kid?
You know I did.
Which was what? Peter
How
Piper,
much wood? How much wood could a
Seashells.
woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
The woodchuck one.
The woodchuck one. Because I couldn't say the Sally Seashore. You see,
can't
even
say
now
the
I
name
can't
of it.
say it.
Those are probably the three most popular: the woodchuck, Seashells, and Peter Piper.
What was that? Peter Piper picked a pepper. That one's really
You are
hard
not
to say.
nimble enough.
Peter.
Keep flexing.
Yeah.
We'll get into our by the way fact about tongue twisters, and specifically the she sells seashells by the seashore tongue twister. This is gonna be a fun episode.
Oh my word.
So that tongue twister was inspired by a woman, and I'll ask you for what? Who was she, or what is she credited for being the founding?
What? Are you trying to make that a tongue twister?
Yes. The woman that this tongue twister is inspired by, what did she found?
The sea.
She actually is credited with the founding of modern paleontology.
Okay.
So let me explain. Her name is Mary Anning, not even Sally. And she was taught by her father to hunt for and identify seashells and fossils.
Okay.
So she would actually sell the shells that she got on the beach to tourists to make money using the knowledge that her father taught her. And she actually found a lot of dinosaur fossils in her hunting and is credited with finding the first of many of the dinosaur fossils before they were the first ones that were found of a lot of different species of them.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not discovering the sea like I guessed, but
No.
That's pretty cool.
Paleontology. It's up there.
Yeah.
Pretty noble.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people started doing tongue twisters. I really couldn't find an answer. All I can think of is people were really bored. They're looking for something to challenge themselves. So tongue twisters, they gained popularity in the 19th century. And the She Sells tongue twister was first published in 1850 as a dictation exercise and was first identified as a tongue twister in 1895. So it took them 45 years to realize that it was hard to say. With the fact that it was started out as a dictation exercise to get you ready to be able to say words correctly. So basically to loosen up your tongue.
All of those poor kids that had to dictate that, and they're all like, this is so hard.
Why can't they name this something?
45 years later, somebody's like, this is a real tongue twister, guys. The faces of all of those kids that are in like their 50s now, like, that's what we were saying.
I've been saying that for 45 years. No one ever listens to the kids. So there's actually different kinds of tongue twisters. There's the ones like She Sells, and these have 2 or more sequences of sounds that make you reposition your tongue to say them properly. That's why it's so hard, because your tongue has to go in different positions with each word.
Okay.
So you do need to flex it to be able to do them well. There's a tongue twister that uses compound words and their stems, like how much wood would a woodchuck chuck? That's a stem one.
I feel like
with
that's the
compound
easiest
words.
one.
It probably is. There's a tongue twister where you say words or phrases over and over and they become increasingly difficult to say properly. So we're going to have fun with this one.
Okay.
Go ahead and say unique New York.
Unique New York. Unique New York. How many times do you want me to say it?
Yeah.
Unique New York. Unique New York.
You're doing pretty good with that one.
Unique New York.
All right. How about cricket critic?
Cricket critic. Cricket critic. Cricket critic.
Slowed down on that one. Got to be able to say them fast.
I'm just learning them.
Oh, jump on them. So those are the third kind, just with the phrases you say over and over again. And in pop culture, for tongue twisters, Dr. Seuss is one of the most popular ones. He's very good with using tongue twisters in his books, and his example, or an example you can look at for a lot of them, is the book Fox in Socks.
That is a good one.
There's a lot of words in there, just like where you're using phrases over and over again, so it's hard to say it sometimes when you're reading that.
Mm-hmm.
Just happen to say the wrong things, and that's the way he intended that book to come out as. So Tongue Twister Day is meant to recognize the long history of them and the interesting people behind them, such as Mary Anning, who simply was finding dinosaur fossils, and so they named a tongue twister after her and didn't even use her name.
Well, how many can you make out of Mary? Well, Mary, sorry, but you're Sally now.
My name's Mary, but everyone calls me Sally. So how are we going to recognize the day? You're already starting. You're flexing your tongue, getting it nimble for all the tongue twisters we're going to say. And then you can spend the day practicing your favorite tongue twister. You can look up a new one to learn. There's websites with nothing but tongue twisters on them.
I don't want to learn the Peter Piper picked a pickle pecker thing.
You definitely need to learn that one. And if you want to get really bold today while you're celebrating, write up a new tongue twister. If you think you can do that, you can tweet it at us, put it out there, and we can maybe rate some of the tongue twisters that we get and see what people think about them.
That'd be fun.
So lots of different ways you can celebrate it, bring you back to being a kid and trying to say them, thinking it was the most difficult thing in the world when it actually is pretty difficult.
It is pretty difficult, except for the woodchuck one.
Yeah. So that's our episode for today. Go to our website, bythewaytodayis.com. You can find out more information about our show. Subscribe, and then we will see you tomorrow with a new day to celebrate.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review our show. You can download new episodes daily to hear what day we are all celebrating and how we can celebrate it. And be sure to share your favorite episode with your favorite person so you guys can celebrate together.